This is One on One. There he is, Jim Rowe, President and CEO, New Jersey Symphony Orchestra. Good to see you, Jim.
Good to see you. I'm happy to be here.
Let me get this straight. You're on One-on-One in NJPAC, your partners, our partners. You're a former performer. You played the oboe.
Yes.
And now you're an executive running the show?
It's a different costume, but yes.
How's that happen?
It's something that I wanted to do for a long time, and I had a real epiphany moment in the desert, which is a good place to have epiphany moments. I was at the Santa Fe Opera, and my friends had paid for the 50th anniversary gala of the opera. And I went there and I spent my time talking to the composers and the directors and working on their capital campaign and talking about relevancy and the future of the art form. And I was 40 years old and I thought, this is how I want to spend the next 25 years of my life. And so I started getting ready for this transition to management. And when the opportunity came at an orchestra where I was already playing, it was so meaningful to make this transition with this organization.
Talk about the symphony. Talk about what it is, what the challenges are,
and
the audience.
Sure. The New Jersey Symphony Orchestra really, I think, is setting the stage for what the orchestra will be in the 21st century. And that is because of our commitment to the communities of this state. We have a statewide mission. We're at home here at the great New Jersey Performing Arts Center.
Why is it home?
Well, this is our resident, we're the resident orchestra of the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. We rehearse here. We perform the majority of our concerts here. And the acoustic is so splendid here. It's one of the most beautiful halls in the world, and I've played all over the world. So for us, this is a great home for us. But we not only play here, we play in 5 other venues around the state, and we break up into smaller groups of 5 or 4 or 3 or even 2 or 1 musician. And we go out into the communities of this state and we bring music to people in schools, in libraries, in nursing homes, hospitals, community centers. And so in a sense, it's our relationship to the communities of New Jersey which really makes this orchestra special.
I mean, on the way down this morning to the NJPAC, I wasn't feeling 100%, great. So I said, let me turn on the classical music station, and you know which one I'm talking about.
Of course.
Right? And it gives me a certain feeling. But that's for me. And the point I'm making is that I always wonder sometimes, like, where is the audience? Who is the audience, age-wise? And how do you turn? Because my kids sometimes are like, Dad, what are you listening to? They don't get it. Mm-hmm. Is it our job to help them get it?
Of course it's our job to help them get it. But the thing is that once they're there, I know that they'll get it.
What is the there?
The there is in front of the music, with us. If you think about it...
Excuse me, radio's one thing, live performance another?
Live performance is another thing. When you're on stage, and of course I've been on stage as a performer for 30 years, we on stage can look out into the audience and see the faces. And last year at the symphony, we were playing Beethoven's Fifth. Famous piece. Starts with this heroic struggle against fate, and in the middle it becomes very quiet and mysterious, and at the end of the 3rd movement and going into the 4th movement, there's this triumphal moment where we go into C major, and the music is so uplifting and so joyful. And last year we were playing the piece, and I looked out and there was a woman in the front row. She was there with her daughter. They were sitting there, and when the music turned from the mysterious, foreboding C minor to this glorious C major, she lifted her head, she closed her eyes, and tears started running down her face. And I thought, this is the moment that you can only have in live performance. And it's this kind of incredible human interaction with Beethoven, with the performers, with the audience. It's the only place you can have it.
My mother does that when she listens to Nessun Dorma.
Of
right?
course.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, of course.
And she made us listen to that every Saturday.
But it's so interesting because most of the music on the radio, if people listen to the radio or on YouTube, most of the music that people listen to today has lyrics.
Right.
Most of the
they may not always be in.
They may not even make sense.
Yes.
But there are lyrics to them.
Yes.
Now, the music that we're playing generally doesn't have lyrics. And so the kind of personal, emotional experience that you have really is uniquely your own.
Yes.
Because the the meaning is really what you have at that very moment.
It's
of
so
hearing.
true. It's so powerful on so many levels. I don't want to personalize this, but I realize that it is a responsibility. If you take a kid to a performance, the kid could be moved by it, but at the same time, as parents, you want to explain what the performance is about and let them interpret it for themselves later on. But there is something about being there.
Yes.
This is a powerful art form. And by the way, for you, how hard is the business side? I love the art of this.
Yes.
But there's a business side. We're
There is
bringing
a
in
business
sponsors.
side.
We're trying to keep sponsors. We're trying to keep our expenses down. What about for you? You don't love that.
Of course I love it.
You do.
Yes,
because
I do love it. I do love it because of that moment with that woman in the front row.
You don't get that. You don't get that unless you.
When I look at a page of spreadsheets or I have a big budgetary meeting, the thing that keeps me going through it is reaching that woman in the front row. Every place that we play.
It's so interesting. People often say people who are musicians, artists, can't make that transition. But in many ways, your passion to be good on the management side is a product of the love for the art form. No? Am I oversimplifying it?
You're not at all. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And for me, my whole life has been about putting people in front of music and musicians in front of people. And however you do it is fulfilling.
And your relationship with the conductor there. Describe it.
Right. So Jacques Lacombe and I have a great relationship, and people have asked me, well, what is it like now that you're on the other side?
The other side.
The other side. So what is it like now? You know, it's curious. It hasn't changed materially that much because when I was playing principal oboe, it was my responsibility to realize his artistic vision, in a sense, in terms of how the oboe part went. So he would move his hands, and I would play. Now, as CEO, my job is still to realize his artistic vision. It's just he doesn't wave his hands at me anymore, at least not in front of my face.
Yes.
But it's my job to bring his artistic vision to life. And in that sense, our relationship is very similar to what it was before.
Love this.
I'm sorry?
Really love this.
I really love this.
The future of the New Jersey Symphony Orchestra. Describe it, 30 seconds.
Sure, happy to. In the communities of this state. Touch points between musicians, music, and audience.
And with young people, you see it growing.
Absolutely. We're going into the schools around the state, both in small groups and in big groups. We have actually a whole family of education programs that we're investing in right now because we see this as really the future of our art form.
And people find out more, they go on the website?
Absolutely. njsymphony.org.
njsymphony.org, because you are a not-for-profit.
We are.
Just like us, which does not mean we are not entrepreneurial.
Exactly.
I love how people say, oh, so you're a charity. Yeah, right. We're out there doing the business so we can do the art. Jim Rowe is President and Chief Executive Officer of the extraordinary
Thank you.
New Jersey Symphony Orchestra. Housed where?
At the NJ PAC.
Thank you so much, Jim. We appreciate it.
It's great to be here.
Stay with us one-on-one from the PAC. We'll be right back right after this. Thank you, Jim.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJ PAC has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence, and by the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, in cooperation with NJTV and 134 WNET. Funding for this edition of One-on-One at NJ PAC with Steve Adubato has been provided by the law firm of Gibbons PC, Hackensack University Health Network, New Jersey's credit unions, Cohn Resnick, Fedway Associates Inc., New Jersey Natural Gas, and by Berkeley College. Promotional support provided by the Star Ledger and NJ.com. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.